before we get into the touchables and untouchables, we got to get to the most important part, which is value. Now, I got 3 columns here. I got value, I got mid, and I got no value. So I'm going to go ahead and discuss some of these players. Again, y'all know Demar and Zach is untouchable. We're going to get into some of these columns, and then I'm going to get into 4 teams that I think the Chicago Bulls can maybe finagle a deal with. You know, that makes sense on both sides. Let's go ahead and get into some of these names, man. Now, I'm going to work my way up. So we're going to state the obvious, the no value column. You know, Tony Bradley. Now, we all know he's pretty much wasting a roster spot. Outside of winning the 3-point contest in practice, I have no clue or no idea why this man is still on the team. So in my no value section, let's start with the number one and obvious, Lonzo Ball. He has no value at this point. Then my last piece is Marco. Marco has not played more than 60 minutes in the NBA. Don't quote me on that. I'm just assuming that.
Oh, no, it's very low. It's very low.
Yeah, but my guy Marco, again, we don't know what we have, you know, in Marco. Down in the G League, my man's be hooping. You know, Summer League, I like what I've seen out of Marco. But when it comes to playing at the NBA level, we don't know what we getting out of Marco. I would assume his trade value is extremely low, pretty much non-existent. Now, let's get into this mid category. 3 players here in the mid category. I got Kobe White, Derrick Jones Jr., and Goran Dragic. Now, the reason why they're in the mid category is because you really don't know what you can get on the market for any of these players. Yes, they can probably be filler pieces or, you know, tied to some bigger deal or something like that. Like I said, they can be complementary pieces to a bigger trade or a bigger deal or maybe a second round pick or something like that. But again, I don't think we would want to try to recoup second round picks for these guys. So the more likely option with them would be, again, to, you know, pair them for a bigger package. Now, let's get into the value category. Now, some people may get mad. Again, I know y'all don't want to trade some of these players, but at the state or the rate that we're going right now, we're playing 500 basketball, actually below 500 basketball. So I don't think rebuilding is the answer, but retooling is definitely on the table. It should be. If I'm Mark Eversley, Billy Donovan, I see how the fan base is reacting to what we got going on this season. I don't think blowing it up is an option. We don't own our pick next year. It's top 4 protected going to the Magic. It makes no sense for us to tank. We don't have our 2025 pick. And then our 2024 pick, that would be the pick that you would want to bank on if you did want to tank. But if you start tanking, that means you have to hit on that 1 year because that next following year is no guarantee that you're going to keep that pick. So tanking is out the question. You just signed Zach LaVine to the max. It would be a terrible PR move to even sign somebody and then try to, you know, rebuild and redo everything that you did. You will lose all credibility from that standpoint.
But for some reason, they think you're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, the people who not involved in Chicago, of course. I mean, they don't see the bigger picture. We 18 months in. It would make no sense for our GM and president to even, you know, consider that. That would be terrible.
I know you've been seeing it, man. Inside reports.
Bill Simmons, Zach Lowe.
Yeah. You know, getting on TV talking about, you know what, it's about time to blow it up. I'm like, I ain't never seen this, man.
Yeah. I mean, but they doing it and you know, a perspective that's outside of the Bulls' realm. Like, they saying trying to tank for Wembanyama, and we don't have our pick. What sense does that make?
That's why I just think it's stupid. Like y'all should do it for this. So, like,
bro,
like, have someone ever told you a reason to make a deal, and they should bring up a reason why you would want to take the deal, not a reason why everybody else would take the deal. No.
Exactly. Now, if we had our pick and picks going forward, I can see that. But again, we don't own our pick. And then if we do trade every single thing that we have on this roster and don't get that pick, and that pick gets converted to another team in the Eastern Conference, that would be so terrible, bro. That'd have to be the worst case scenario.
A team that will also be in the lottery with us.
Exactly. So that would just be the worst outcome out of all outcomes, you know. So I don't. Again, they're credible names and they're big, you know, big names and stuff like that. But you got to kind of really pay attention to what's going on. Don't take what they say and just run with it, because a lot of the times they're doing stuff just for clickbait, just to bring attention, just, you know, their media personalities. You know, put that in perspective. They don't know what's going on in the Bulls organization. They don't know we don't own our pick next year. Why go back? That's the Garpax mode, you know. And again, they almost went on a 20-year run, so it's gonna be a lot of untangling Acme and them gonna have to do, because again, after 20 years, we're hardwired that way. Hey, DeRozan coming up for a contract, trade. Jimmy coming up for a contract, get him out of here. You know, you go down the line. You know, hey, this is going on, blow it up. You know, let's try to, you know, just do whatever. But we don't move like that no more. We have to get out of that mind frame. Tanking, to me, is not good in any capacity. Practicing to lose, like, it's bad. You know, we the Chicago Bulls, third biggest market. It makes no sense to even entertain that, you know, and I think that's why we're in the position that we in now. It's sad that other people and sports personalities tie tanking to the Chicago Bulls so heavy. Like, we're not the Knicks, bro. Like that's we shouldn't even be. They haven't won a championship in 50 years. I don't want to be that franchise. Back to my value column. I got Ayo in here. You know, a lot of people, y'all might say, hey, we shouldn't move Ayo. Again, I don't think some of these players we're not going to move, of course. But they do have value, I believe, around the league. Like Pat, Ayo, and then you got Javonte Green. I'm going to start off. I pretty much came up with 4 deals. I shot them to my boy Q. I'm like, look, Q, I know you're not going to agree on everything with me here. But tell me how you feel about these, because I think, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it's good value on both sides. We got 1 3-team trade, which I think, again, it goes well for every team that's on board. Q, out of the 4 deals that was proposed to you, which one is your number 1 deal, and tell me why?
I'm going to go with your 3-team trade. So what we have here is we have Nikola Vucevic for the Pistons. Oh, well, I guess I should go in order. So we would rev up Vucevic, we would collect the Pistons, Bojan, Bogdanovic, and Sadiq Bey. And then off the top of that, the Pistons would collect from the Raptors, Thaddeus Young, and Chris Boucher, with us sending Vuk to the Toronto in the 3-team trade. So I know it's confusing for the folks, but we get Sadiq Bey and Bojan Bogdanovic at the end of this trade, and I like that because he gives us 2 knockdown shooters. And then with this trade, it gives us room to make more trades. Something you was talking about a little bit when we was off screen.
Yeah.
So from here, we can go on to like that value chart that you were saying, like other people we can move. Now we can probably move on from maybe a Caruso, maybe a Javonte Green. We can see exactly who we will need to trade probably to fill that center role. I don't think Drummond can really play long minutes at center. Even based off his last couple of years, I don't think, like, if he could, he would have did it, bro.
I mean, he was a full-time starter last year for the Nets.
I mean, he only give him like 25 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So like that's we still got like that's only like slightly more than half the game. So we probably still got to find someone else that could at least give us a good 25 to 30 minutes as well. Aside from that, I do like this trade. I feel like the ball will move better, will be quicker. Possibly fixing up a lot of issues on D, because they're not bad defenders, the people we're collecting, and we still get to keep some of ours. So I think it just gives us room to move, and we can kind of change our identity a bit, but still keep the core of Zach and Demar, as you said, and probably still keep a lot more other people, honestly. Man, I have to move on from Pat, and I have to move on from Io. Might just have to make another small trade with Kobe and Derrick Jones Jr., Caruso, probably get like a nice backup center. Like, there's plenty of things to do after that.
For me, this probably is a I would say top 3. I got it going third. The only reason why is because Vooch going to the Raptors. That's another team in the East that we competing with, and I think if they got Vooch, they will have a very well-rounded team, and it'd be nice. And I think Vooch will actually, get embraced playing there. They will definitely need and use his services. So just to kind of recap this trade, we'll get Bogdan Bogdanovic from the Pistons, wide receiver Saddiq Bey. Nikola Vucevic will go to the Raptors, and then the Raptors will send Thaddeus Young and Chris Boucher to the Pistons. A team who's trying to tank pretty much, and they will be able to kind of get value in exchange. Chris Boucher is a nice young big. They can continue to tank and route. It may have to be a pick in there because Bojan is hooping, averaging 21 a game right now. He just signed a 3-year deal. For them to kind of sign him and get up out of there, just to kind of ease that over, they may need like a second round protected first or something like that. But I think that'll be a pretty solid deal for all 3 teams involved. But at the same time, we helping 2 of our Eastern Conference teams. We helping the Pistons tank, and then we're helping the Raptors get better. Even though we do get better. So that's my only issue with that trade. My number 1 trade, which I think is a good deal for all parties involved. Each one of these trades is going to pretty much open a floor for other moves for other deals to pursue out there. This trade I got with the Charlotte Hornets. Now, we all know the Charlotte Hornets is trying to tank. The deal will be Kelly Oubre and Terry Rozier coming back to Chicago. And then we will be sending out Nikola Vucevic, Derrick Jones, and Kobe White. Now, this trade wouldn't be able to happen until December 15th because we just signed Derrick Jones Jr. December 15th is about 2 weeks away from today. I think if you bring in Terry Rozier, somebody right now who's averaging 24, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists a game, that's already symbolic of, something similar that Lonzo Ball brought us, and probably even more, right? Those 9 assists is really going to help move the flow of the offense. Y'all know Scary Terry, a big shot maker, averaging 24 points a game right now. And then also as a point guard to average 7 rebounds, I think that'll really help us because we're 20th in rebounds per game right now. That's potentially Terry Rozier, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan. If you want to start Pat, you can start Pat, or you can start Kelly Oubre, which I think would be the sneaky good pickup in this thing. Kelly Oubre is a walking bucket, a solid 3-point shooter, can play the 3 or the 4, get up and down, also plays defense pretty long. Now, Q, what you think about that, man? Because I know you had some disagreement. I think that came in number 4 on your list, but...
So I already told you my big thing is, one, I think Terry Rozier would be a little bit of a ball stopper. Like, I don't think we need another shooter in the backcourt.
bro. 9 assists a game. That ain't.
How many points though,
bro?
How many points though?
24 points.
That's what I'm saying. So we got another man who.
But we
needs the ball a lot.
Look.
He needs the ball a lot.
He a point guard though.
I know. All three of these guys shoots off the dribble. None of these guys are catch and shoot guys at that point.
Bro, Terry Rozier and Kelly Oubre can definitely knock down a spot up 3-point
But that's
shot.
Kelly, yeah, but that's not Terry's game, though.
Bro, Terry can play all ball. What you think he doing with LaMelo?
That's not his game, though.
What you think he doing with LaMelo? LaMelo is the ball dominant person for the Hornets.
No, but
Terry's playing off ball.
But what I'm saying is, like, if Terry's playing the point with DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine,
I think that'll just give you. To me, it would just resemble what Lonzo Ball brings, because you got to think Lonzo Ball is a 40% 3-point shooter. Terry Rozier, I want to say maybe 38%. I didn't even look into the numbers. We could look that up real quick. So if we go on the iso ball route, not only does it create floor space, and we all know Terry Rozier can play defense, and he's an actual point guard. I think what we missing on this team heavily is somebody who can create off the dribble, somebody who has strong ball handling capabilities. And that's something Terry Rozier would bring to this team if we did make that deal. I think that's our biggest problem right now. We don't have a starting level point guard. We keep trying to force Caruso, Ayo, Dragic, 35. Honestly, Dragic is our best point guard, in my opinion, right now. Yeah. And he's 35 years old, bro. So I think point guard is if you're going to move on from Vooch, address that position. And like I said, that kind of takes the pressure off Lonzo Ball. We're not expecting Lonzo to come be the savior. If Lonzo Ball can come back, maybe Lonzo now is better suited off the bench. He's never been really healthy. And then if he does come back and want to take that starter position, at least we got competition at that position to where, hey, Lonzo, we just not finna give you the keys because we can't trust you being healthy, man. You're going to have to outball somebody who can clearly play basketball, So that's just my standpoint on that, man. Y'all let us know down there, man. Y'all let us know. All right.
I don't think my man's an L1 baller for a reason, man.
Bro, Terry's a hoop. Don't sleep on Terry Rozier, bro.
I just know he like to pound that bitch, bro. He like to pound that bitch. That's all I know.
Hey, Terry get freaky with that pill, bro. Don't tweet. Terry nice with that rock, bro. But all right, we're gonna move on to your number 2, man. Who you got number 2 then?
My number 2, I'm gonna say I will go with probably the Pacers deal. Okay. Honestly, I'm a big fan of TJ McConnell.
Okay.
I would a little bit. I mean, not even a little bit. I would prefer him to Alex Caruso, honestly. Get the same amount of steals. Might not be high. Might not be as high energy, but Green's pretty high energy, bro. And he can actually get a little bit more of a bucket. I expect too much from TJ McConnell. We can't get 10 points out of Alex Caruso. And that's consistently. Yeah, consistent. Like when I put out sports bet, who am I gonna put my money on to get 10 points today? I'm picking TJ McConnell and Chris Duarte. Okay, yeah. So that's the 3 people we will receive from the Pacers, and then what we have here is you saying who?
Wait. You only named 2. You said TJ McCollum.
Oh yeah,
Duarte
and Miles Turner.
Yeah, I know you don't like Miles, bro.
And then we'll trade Kobe White in a pick, because I do think if we can get like a Miles Turner, it'll actually turn out pretty well. And I do also like the support that we get with it. And I do feel this trade addresses some of our needs. We get another point guard. that can play very good defense. Get another young player. But he's a pretty good scorer. He can score off the dribble, should hit some open shots. And then we already know what Miles Turner can do. Miles Turner stretch big, always top 5 in blocks. My only problem is he doesn't play games. If we can get 50 games out of Miles Turner, I really do like this trade. I think it will be worth it. But it just all depends on that. Like that was single-handedly make or break this trade.
Yeah. I think with this deal, like you said, we'll be receiving TJ McConnell, Miles Turner, and Chris Duarte. Pacers will receive Vooch, Kobe White, and the Portland first-round pick. I really like this deal. I think I got this coming in number 2 for me too as well. The reason why I like it, like you said, we will get some resemblance in Alex Caruso with TJ McConnell. A little bit better 3-point shooter. Again, he'll pick you up full court. Very pesky type defender. Very active. And he can actually run an NBA offense. That's something that, again, TJ McConnell, you don't think of him as your long-term starting point guard. But again, at least when he's out there, you're going to get some level of competency, not only from the defensive end, but also the offensive end. And then at that, you add Chris Duarte, who was part of the rising rookie and sophomore, game, and was really a bucket last year. Kind of before Halliburton and them got there, he was, the young guy that the Pacers was looking to kind of groom. Now they got Benedict and Halliburton, which kind of make it easier for them to move off of him. And he's kind of older, rookie scale player too, because he's 25 on the rookie contract. But I think him being here, like you even mentioned, he has the capacity to handle the ball pretty well, can shoot the 3. To me, it's kind of a souped up THT. He very crafty. Again, and could be a bucket off the bench. So
yeah, he's definitely a problem when he's hot.
Yeah. He definitely an issue. You know what I'm saying? And then you get Miles Turner, like you said, top 5 in blocks. I believe led the league in blocks last year, almost 4 a game. We get that shot blocking factor, the switchability going. Good defender, and then he's a 40% 3-point shooter. Something that if we're gonna run this big offense or this offense with the big being on the perimeter to kind of let DeMar eat, I think Miles Turner will be that perfect complement because he can knock that 3-point shot down, So Miles Turner is coming up as an unrestricted free agent. That plays a factor in this deal. Us offering the first-round pick, I would need some form of commitment from Miles Turner that he wants to resign. Reportedly, he's looking for about $20 million a year. At least a 4-year deal. Something I probably feel comfortable signing Miles Turner to.
That's actually not bad.
Yeah, he's 26 years old. By the end of that deal, he'll be 30. Number 1 shot blocker in the league. Consistently been a top 3-point shooting big in the league. Somebody who's pretty much known for his defense. Not the greatest passer, but I think that'll just kind of change the dynamic of the team, and with you having, negative defending wings and DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, I think we need that rim protection down there. I think that's why a lot of the times Vooch get ate up a lot, because Vooch don't really block shots that much. And even though we got a top 10 defense, that's with Vucevic. I think with Miles Turner, that'll even, make us even better defensively. And we'll still have Caruso while adding TJ McConnell. I think that'll be a nice little recipe. And then we can look at, other pieces to kind of move around and, try to get help. So, that deal coming in for me, number 2. Y'all already know my third deal was the 3-team trade with the Pistons and Toronto Raptors. I kind of touched on that already. So let's hear from my boy Q. What you got number 3 on this list, man?
So for me, it would be the deal with the Spurs. I just see some potential in this. Mainly because I do think it might help free up Demar and Zach a little bit if they was to do this trade. But the trade is Doug McDermott and Jakob Poeltl for Vooch and a first rounder. Now, me personally, I'm not a big fan of Doug McDermott. I don't hate him or anything. Don't mind him. He just, at this point, good roster spot. Throw solid.
I mean,
but,
yeah, he can hoop.
So he have his moments. So it would be funny seeing him back in the Chicago uniform. But
back where he started, baby. Back where he started.
My man going to every team. But what this trade... hold on, I have to make sure that I said for Vooch and pick, right? I wanted to make sure. Okay, all right. So with this trade, I like it because we get some younger at center, cheaper, save some money, might be able to bring in one extra person in the offseason. Don't really know exactly how many years left on Jacob's contract, but I do know that I don't believe he will ask for as much as Vooch is asking for. I feel like we might be able to save money with him, me personally. And then I also think that he'll still be able to free up. Like now, it wouldn't be so much as a point to give the ball to him, more so just giving him the ball when he's open, and the floor in the offense.
Yeah, he a great pick and roller, man. He's 7'1". He kind of nimble to be 7'1" too.
And he runs the floor.
So, yeah, that's what he quick on them feet.
Yeah, and he runs the floor.
And a shot blocker.
He jumps, contest everything. So I just feel like it's one of them things that can help because right now we need something that could provide us a spark to keep the offense together. Not that Vooch not doing it, but I just think we need that spark in a different way. And we couldn't get Miles Turner, so we got to get a little bit watered down. And now we got Poeltl. So, Poeltl. But I like the trade. And he still got room to grow.
Yeah. I think with go ahead, fam.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, well, y'all can Poeltl too. What I like about him, man, he's a good passer. Something that you not gonna get pretty much out of Miles Turner. It's kind of like a trade off. You get the rim protection, you get the rim rolling, and you get that very, like you said, hard hitting the lanes. Jakob Poeltl, he's gonna contest everything. He's not afraid to get dunked on, and he's 7'1", man. He got that size, and he's a good passer. We all know Acme and them kind of, teetered around last year because he was rumored to be, of an interest of the Chicago Bulls. So we know they like him. You know what I'm saying? Dating back to last year. So I think that'll be something they probably try to, entertain again. I think when you look at it, now this is just a disclaimer, folks. The reason why Vooch is involved in all these deals is because the only players on this team that are untouchable right now is Zach and DeMar. And for everybody else, like Pat, Io, I don't really see them, actively trying to shop either one of them. They are our young up-and-coming pieces. Javonte Green is kind of on the steal of a contract. I don't think they would want to move him unless they were able to, pair, Vooch, Caruso, and Javonte to bring like a superstar player back or something like that. But I don't see Javonte really being moved. And then Caruso, he's a fan favorite, top in jersey sales. That matters to the Reinsdorf. A great defender and things like that. So I
think we should throw him in a couple trades though.
Yeah. I was just about to say I got a few deals out there that can involve Caruso. I don't think he's untouchable, and I don't think the Bulls think he's untouchable either. But I think doing this deal, like I said, with Jakob Poeltl, you able to kind of, still retain like pretty much everybody on this list outside of Vooch, address some needs. And at that, you get Doug McDermott, a plus 3-point shooter. Again, somebody who could play the 4. He could be coming off the bench, just somebody who's extra who can help with the floor spacing department, which we desperately need. Again, 28th in offensive ranking. And got one of the worst shot profiles in the league. That's because we don't really have any spot-up shooters. So with this trade, again, you open up doors to move other pieces. Like, you still will have Derrick Jones Jr. You'll still have Dragic on this roster. You will still have, Caruso. You'll still have Ayo, Pat, Javante. I think with those players, you can make some other moves to kind of eliminate the redundancy. But I think that'll be a start. You'll have an actual center who complements what DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine doesn't bring. People who constantly get backdoor cutted and beat off the dribble. You need that rim protection down there.
Oh man, we don't close the back door.
The back door stay open. Yeah,
oh man,
that motherfucker don't got a doorknob on there.
Yeah, bro. I'm just the last 2 games. I'm like, yo, come on, bro. I don't feel him go past y'all, bro.
And see, and Vooch get a lot of that blame, bro. But
I
really,
know. That's why I'm like, it ain't his fault sometimes.
Yeah,
he be over here. He look up, bro, at the rim.
Yeah, and then he got to come help. And then once he get finished, though, because he's not a shot blocker, people look at Vooch like, oh man, he's slow footed and all this other shit. In reality, DeMar DeRozan got to be one of the worst goddamn defenders in the game of basketball. I'm sorry. Zach is a little bit better, but Zach
it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah,
I'm like, if you're gonna bring it up, bro, you can't excuse one and not the other.
No, boy, them motherfuckers, meatball and spaghetti out there. I ain't gonna lie, both of them. That shit just. It's a crazy combination, bro. Like, we got terrible wing defenders, and you need that shot blocking. Again, we top 10 defense. This with Vooch, this without a shot blocker. You get what I'm saying?
And two terrible wing defenders.
Yeah. So we hold our own. Mainly it's offensively that needs to be addressed, but also just odd fits. Like, you got 2 subpar wing defenders, and then you don't have a plus defender from your center position. I think that's just not a good recipe to win basketball games. Offensively, they don't really fit because DeMar and Vooch got to operate from the same space to be effective. And then when DeMar doesn't have the ball in his hands, he's not a spot-up shooter, so you closing and you shrinking up the lane, which creates more issues for Zach LaVine. Like, if Zach LaVine got the ball, and you got Ayo, Caruso, like these are not knockdown shooters. So everybody is closing the lane. When you typically see Zach LaVine driving, he got to go through 2 to 3 bodies because, again, if you kick it, these are not knockdown shooters you passing it to. So I just think the odd fits. We need a better balance. We need to eliminate some of this redundancy. We already got it in our 2 best players. To me, DeMar DeRozan ain't nothing but an older Zach LaVine. It's just too redundant. You got too many point guards. You got Javante Green, Derrick Jones Jr. You don't know who to play which nights. It's just too confusing. Then we go small because we got all these point guards, and then we don't got a shot blocker, and we 20th in rebounding. We got 2 top rebounded centers, but from every other position, we kind of lacking that. Especially without Ball. Ball was probably one of our best rebounders, and that's coming from the point guard position. But outside of that, Pat not giving you more than 5 rebounds a game. Same with Zach and DeMar. They may spring up for 5, 6, 7 rebounds. But you're not really getting like that strong, consistent rebound presence. So, we got to address some of these things. But I think that deal with the Spurs do address some of the needs, and then again, it opens the doors for others to be moved, just to try to find a better balance within the team. And then again, you retain the Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan, your 2 all-star players, and just retooling. Now 4th, that was my 4th ranked deal. So I pretty much just went there. Now, your last rank deal was the Terry Rozier and Kelly Oubre deal. Yeah. So go ahead and let the people know why you got that.
We already kind of went over it a little bit earlier when it was your time, but I just feel like it just shifts the whole makeup of the team too much. And, and I'm telling you that, man, Terry, I'll never forget, man. I'll never forget the famous quote. I held myself back for Kyrie. And ever since then, I'm like, yeah, all right, bro. I see the type of guy you is. All right, bro. I see the type of time you on. Bro said, no, ESPN, bro. First take.
He got his opportunity and then shit his ass. So
I mean, now he getting it though. He getting his money, but I just feel like I feel like Terry Rozier will change the makeup of our team too much. It will start to give me like, it wouldn't be this, but it would give me that Brandon Jennings, Monte Ellis vibe. Like that's the first thing I could think of. It wouldn't be that, but that's the first thing I could think of right now. Like, yeah, you would think it should work, but it's just that's not. I feel like it's a problem, but that's not the problem, you know. And I feel like for us to do that and that not be the problem, I'm like, to then it's like, dang, now we got no rebound. We got no rebound. We got Drummond, but Drummond can't play long on the court.
Nah, but still, that deal was still you will still have, again, you still have Ayo, you still have Pat, you still have Javante, you still have Caruso. You won't have Derrick Jones and White no more because you just brought in Kelly Oubre, which to me would be a huge plus over them two. And then you'll be substituting pretty much Terry Rozier, an actual capable three-point shooter, somebody who will bring spacing from that point guard position and who can actually read the floor and get other people involved. You know, my man's averaging 9 assists.
So you don't want Russell Westbrook in the 2 picks?
Oh, hell no. Hell no. 27, 29? Hell no.
Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You got to understand. You can use those picks. The Lakers should be bad by then. You never know who's in the draft at that time.
5 years down the line, hell
but I
no.
was like, bro. I was like, yo, if I'm relying on that pick 5 years,
bro, what? And we don't have a pick next year. The fuck? What? Like, again, that would be the worst strategy in the fucking world, to try to tank. And you only have a chance to get a top 4 pick. And if you don't get that pick and you give 2 lottery picks to another team in the Eastern Conference while you are already trying to be fucking terrible, because at that point you're gonna be fucking terrible. What? What are we talking about here? So, no, Russell Westbrook, all that. The only way I see a deal going down with the Lakers if we bring AD back. If AD not coming back, I don't want Bron. I don't want nobody else on that goddamn roster.
I say I'll take AD, Austin Reeves. Give him, I don't know, maybe give me AD, Austin Reeves in the pick. I'll give him Vooch, Demar, Kobe White.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'll definitely move anybody on this roster right now for AD. 100, you know. I would really want to pair him with Zach LaVine, but shit, even if Zach got brought up, like, man, it's fucking Anthony Davis, bro. Like, bro, I ain't
gonna lie, especially the way he just been hooping. Like, dang, I gotta take AD, and AD didn't turned it up since the last time we talked to.
Yeah, you know, that's why I was saying early in the season, man, we should have been dialing the Lakers every day, bro, calling them, battle on AD. A lot of fans was, man, he injury prone. Bro, when AD is in the groove, he is undoubtedly a top 5 talent in this NBA. Like, undoubtedly. And he's from Chicago. I would think he'll have way more support than, you know, what we actually give him, especially from our fan base. Like, it's so many people like, no. Like, bro, this is a top 5 talent. This is a top 75 player of all time in the NBA. And he's still playing. He's still young. Like, what the hell? What are we talking about here? So, last point, real quick, man, before we get out of here.
I feel like
the secret extension.
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh my God, we talking about Billy Donovan, the secret extension. What was that all about, bro? Like, like why keep it under the table and why wait till a quarter into the season to get a sham?
I didn't even realize it was a secret. I thought they just did it. And I look up, they talking about, they did this in July?
Yeah.
August.
It didn't say anything about it. Like what?
Because this was supposed to, he was supposed to have 2 more years. Like it was supposed to be this year, next year, but they extended him for an extra 3 years.
They didn't even discuss. They did not say. They just said for several more seasons. We don't know if that's 3. We don't know if that's 4. We don't know what's like. It's Bulls being Bulls. That's kind of being weird. I don't know who our PR team is, but Reinsdorf, we got to do better, bro. Like this not a good look. This just from my perspective.
And then it doesn't help because we do this, and now we have like public comments. Like Zach disagreeing
from my
with
star players.
Yeah. They disagree with the message at the end of the Suns loss. They disagree with the benching. So, but then we got this man is extended the whole time. So it's going to be interesting because you already know how I personally felt about him. I didn't think he did enough to get the extension yet. Like I didn't think he did enough.
I don't think nobody in the fan base thought so. I mean, you still got an extra year. To me, like, you got 2 years. You got this season and next season to make that decision on if you want to extend Billy Donovan or not. Why not go through this season? I know we want to talk about continuity, but let's see what he actually do with the continuity. And right now, we do have the second hardest schedule up to this point in the season. We are a little bit under 500. With big wins, twice against Boston, 1 against Milwaukee,
1 against Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn, the Heat. We have beat some pretty good teams. I won't take that away from Billy Donovan or, coaching staff, players, things like that. But we still got a long ways to go. And for us to kind of make that decision off 1 playoff win and 1 playoff appearance, like, what type of signal are we sitting here? Like, I want to have championship aspirations, not 1 playoff game, 1 playoff win aspirations. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, so he only this was his 3rd year this year, correct?
Yeah, we're currently in his 3rd season. So he will have this season and next season, and he should have been off the books. So, like, you got more than enough time to decide on the extension. After getting our ass kicked by the Milwaukee Bucks last year, I don't see, unless this is something from Zach. Zach say, hey, I will resign with y'all. Keep Billy. I really like what Billy Donovan is doing. I just don't get it outside of that. Like if Zach is not pushing for it, which it didn't seem like you even brought up, they're on the same page. I'm not sure how does Zach have influence in this decision, but I just don't get it. Why it was swept under the rug? Like that's something important. What the hell?
I kind of want to know like why y'all made the decision to sign him. Even besides, it's a lot of questions going on with this. I don't got no comment on it because I was telling people like if we ain't gonna make no trade, we need a coaching change because we need someone either who can communicate to the team better or someone who can bring out the best out of more people.
I think with this move, extended Billy Donovan, I think again, you either got to do 3 things in this case. You either have to fire the coach, like you said, bring in a new voice, new coaching staff, maybe that sparked the players. Or you have to move on from players to adapt to whatever the coach wants and what he thinks he needs to be successful. Or you need to fucking tear the whole thing down from top to bottom, which we just did, and I don't see that even being a feasible option. It's too early. I mean, we just got Mark Eversley and AK. They're not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. With us signing Billy Donovan to an extension and Zach LaVine to the max, the only logical option here would be to kind of retool and shake up the roster. So I definitely see something going on this season. I'm not sure if it's gonna be big, but the 4 trades that we kind of discussed, I think when you look at it, Vooch is expiring. Everybody else is, they got some value, but it's not like they're not gonna have the level of value as Nikola Vucevic. So yeah, it's definitely, looking like the only option. I mean, you got Billy Donovan for the long run, you got Zach LaVine for the long run. What are you gonna do with them too? You got DeMar DeRozan for another year. The only option is to move some players. Move the pieces around, see what the fuck you can get out there. But yeah, it was still kind of weird that they did the undercover signing.
No one secret. Did the players know? Like, it's just something.
Yeah, like who the hell? Like, what's this? Like, y'all never thought to cross y'all mind. Even in Billy Donovan case, bro. Like, I just signed an extension. I would want to be proud of that. Like, why are we holding this from the fan base? Like, Billy, did you not have questions? Like, what did that conversation look like?
Exactly. It was just like they make sure, and then it's crazy because they made sure of all news to never leak. This the news that never leaked.
Yeah, but that again, that's symbolic to our front office, man. They keep shit so close to the chest. The main media didn't even fucking know this. Like, nobody knew this, bro. So whatever they got cooking up there, whatever they got going on, to me that just signifies that, like, hey, us as a fan base, we not gonna know what the hell going on until it happens. Until something is announced from Woj, Shams, I wouldn't even pay attention to shit, because even them, like, shit, I'm pretty sure if they heard about the extension, they would have been, broadcasted the news. But the Chicago media didn't know. Like, nobody knew what the fuck was going on. Like, this is some real incognito type shit, man. So
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. So pay attention, but again, I will only really pay attention to the major news outlets. It don't seem like nobody know what the hell is going on in the Bulls front office. So, hey. But that's all I gotta say, man. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, man. Peace out, Bulls Nation. Lock into the game tonight. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Get down in that comment section about the extension, about the trade proposals. If y'all got any more moves or anything like that y'all want to go ahead and discuss, go ahead and throw it down there. Peace out, boys.